Did we do it? Let me see. Oh, come on. Let me know. Are we working? Are we working? Somebody, please, please. Let's hope. Shows we may be working. Oh, this is going to be kick-ass. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, it is. I hear me in the background on the other computer. Just a second. Yeah, close it out. Watch out, buddy. Jump. Yay, we did it. Oh, except for the screen isn't quite center. That's why we're doing this 15 minutes. Thank you. Aha, I have to do it. That adjust it. This, we have to go full screen. There we go. Yay. Thanks, Ralph. And then I've got that tab open. So we got 5 thumbs up for watchers. Awesome. Oh, I may have a mute. No, it's muted. Hopefully you guys don't hear an echo. Let me know if you do. Oh, it worked. And I just started it early so I could figure out how things work. Because I've never gone live before on StreamYard with my camera on me. Hey, Leslie. I don't live in Indiana. That's okay. You can watch how my crazy politicians are. You can. It's cool. It's something I do. I gotta move this because it needs to be here. There. No, the guy running, Tom McDermott, running for Senate, is for recreational cannabis and medical cannabis, and Todd Young is not. And I'm going to watch him lie on a debate stage. So what we're going to do, instead of a drinking game, we're going to do gummies. Legal gummies. We're going to take a gummy every time that my current senator takes a gummy or says something false. I'm going to start out with one. 100% legal. 12 minutes. Nobody has the answers. That's the bad thing. McDermott doesn't have all the answers either, but it's a different way to go. I don't remember what state you live in, Leslie. I'm sorry. Those are pretty good gummies. Not sponsored by Urban Days. 100% legal in all 50 states. Show you guys a picture of the backstage Senate area where we are currently T-minus 11 minutes from the future debate. All legal. Oh, Leslie, you're in Michigan. Dude, you are like in a foreign country to me. We get radio ads in our state that tells us not to drive to Illinois or Michigan. Getting our tweeterers. Oh, I closed my door. This is going to be fun, Shadow. Come on. Come in. Just want to close the door. I forgot that you... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Michigan has gets hundreds of $1 million every year. You should be able to make backstage pick full screen. Yeah, but then I can't keep track. I can do that. I can make it this or that. But I don't know how the thing will come up, so I may switch it. Just depends on if there's stuff in that little thing. 8, 10 people watching. Ralph, what up, Russo? And that's just darker because right now on their screen, there is nothing yet. And I really hope this works right. Main here, free weed, yeah, whatever. No, Michigan has been legal, and Indiana still says that our senator is going to tell you that veterans that have PTSD deserve research, but not in Indiana. And according to him, cannabis, he has no official comment on the status of cannabis. So I've been working with McDermott's office, and he is pro-federal legalization in all states. You should be able to travel from Michigan to a different state without being scared of getting pulled over. So we will see. Twitter check. Oh, this is so... I don't know how you guys do this stuff with multiple platforms. 8 people. What up, guys? Medical and recreational. That's awesome, Leslie. No, I have PTSD and have back surgery, and I can't get it. Nothing. It's insane. All right. 9 minutes, 8 minutes, depending on his clock. Top chat. Make sure we have live chat up. Feel free to answer the poll or answer it whenever you want. I'm not going to end it till the end. And then we can go here. Participants. Leslie. Oh, I can make you a mod. Hold on. Yay. There you go. Sorry. Wally. Oh, this is really... Let's go here to do the thing. What up, Wally? Show. Oh, that's how you show the comment. Gotcha. Okay. That's cool. This is really kind of confusing. Oh, it works. I'm so excited. This is working. You guys like it like that? Or like that? I like that because then I can be off to the side and I'm not in the screen because I don't know how it's going to look. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Cheers, Wally. I hope the audio works too. God, that would suck if the audio doesn't work. We'll see. And, oh, I probably should put in my description, Carl, holy fuck. Holy fuck. Wow. I'm all right, Carl. What's up, dude? Well, I will put it in here at the end, but I do have permission from McDermott's office to rebroadcast this. So we've covered our P's and Q's. And they've got 28 people watching on their StreamYard. 11? 13? I don't get it. I don't know. What up, Carl? I'm trying, dude. I have surgery in 3 weeks. No, I'm about done with the fuck it all the bullshit, man. What up? What up, everybody? Uncle Dude's sleeping. Okay, let me see if I can go wake him up really, really quick. He needs to wake his ass. Wake up, Daddy. Okay. We back. 12. 1. Live chat. Hit thumbs up. Yay. Thank you. Thanks, Leslie. I've never done this before. Oh. 10 on YouTube. I think it's on 41. That's his office is restreaming this too. So I'm like piggybacking off a live stream. 6 thumbs up. Thanks, you guys. I'm trying to learn how to do this. We'll see. I want to make it fun. And I figure taking a gummy is better than taking a shot. Okay, so that's that screen. 6 thumbs up. And then I have to go to this screen to make sure people rinse. Let's do this. Let's do that. Every one of them, Johnny. Absolutely. And that's the thing. They're all liars and crooks. I know they are. That's why I want to do this, because I'm not tied to either side. I want to hear both their bullshit stories. Or all three. Sorry, there's technically 3 doing it. What up, Johnny? They've got, oh yeah, that's their page. It has 274 watching. Not me. Oh, I'm doing, gotcha. Oh, and that's how I do this. And block, no, we don't. Sorry, I almost blocked you, Wally. They are right wing, left wing, same evil bird. They just want your vote. But that's why I want to show this stuff, because I'm not biased to either side. I've been Republican and Democrat and independent, and neither side wins. Neither. Okay. Oh, I think I tweeted this out too. New tweet from McDermott. Here's the candidates. Here we go. In this corner, weighing in at I don't know how much, Hammond Mayor, Indiana, Tom McDermott. In this ring, we have Sleazebag Oathkeeper. Absolutely certified Oathkeeper, Hot Toddy. And in this corner, we have the Libertarian Party, James, starts with an S, I don't remember. And his party too. But yeah. This is what an Oathkeeper looks like. Just so you know. Here's your candidates. Here we go. Oh, somebody else is live. Well, I'm going to not like theirs because I want them to watch mine. Okay. Everybody start the... Okay. We're getting there. I hope I can do this. 163 people watching on their thing. Ours is smaller. But, you know, we're going to have fun with it. I just wish I drank, because this is a fun drinking game. 7 minutes. Mic thing done. Oh, begin at 7. 7 minutes. Come on. Turn this off. Oh. One place went live. 7 watchers. Come on. You can do it. Wally Fish. Oh, no, don't open that screen. What up, Wally? Here we go. Please, audio work. No. Hold on.
This program is made possible through the support of AARP Indiana, Indiana Broadcasters Association, and the following.
Let me know if
The
you guys hear that.
2022 U.S. Senate debate. presented by the Indiana Debate Commission.
I can't see. I can't see. Turn YouTube volume off. I am live.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2022 U.S. Senate debate organized by the independent, nonpartisan Indiana Debate Commission. We are live in the studios of WFYI in downtown Indianapolis, and in just a moment, you'll hear from the three candidates on the ballot this fall. My name is Laura Merrifield-Wilson, and it's my pleasure to serve as your moderator this evening. I'm an associate professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis, as well as a member of the Indiana Debate Commission. Now we'll meet the candidates. Their lectern positions and question order were chosen by a drawing. The first candidate is incumbent Republican Senator Todd Young. Our second candidate is Libertarian James Sceniak. And the third candidate is Democrat Tom McDermott. The Debate Commission has selected tonight's questions using hundreds of ideas submitted by Hoosiers all across the state. The topics have not been shared in advance with the candidates. The rules for our debate are simple. Candidates will be given 1 minute to make an opening statement, and then I'll begin with the questions. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to each question. Candidates may request an opportunity for a 30-second rebuttal by raising their hands. So let's begin with the opening statements. We'll hear first from Mr. Todd Young. Senator, you have 1 minute to make an opening statement.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wilson. I want to thank the Indiana Debate Commission, WFYI, for hosting this debate. I, of course, want to thank Mr. Sceniak and Mayor McDermott for joining me this evening. As Hoosiers watch from their living rooms this evening, we know that they are hurting. They are hurting as a result of the multi-trillion-dollar tax and spend policies of the Biden administration, which have led to incredibly costly gas and groceries, which has made life unaffordable. They're hurting as a result of the open borders policy, which is polluting our towns and cities alike with all sorts of illegal substances. They're hurting as a result of the blunders overseas, which have left Americans dead. Just recently, Republicans were in control. When Republicans were in control, we lowered taxes, we lightened regulations. The economy was poised for takeoff when we emerged from the global pandemic. All of that was interrupted under Democratic control. I will fight to work across the aisle, but I will oppose this agenda if Hoosiers reelect me. I hope to earn your support.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Sceniak. You have 1 minute.
Good evening. Thank you to the Indiana Debate Commission for hosting this. I believe this is where we have civil conversations about real solutions for Hoosier households. I grew up in Northern Indiana. I'm a lifetime Hoosier and a Hufflepuff. I absolutely know what a hard work ethic is because I watched my dad work in the steel mills of Gary, Indiana, and then later at the RV factories. My mom, she was a teacher and she showed perseverance and patience for her community. These are the skills that I took to Indianapolis when I became a behavior therapist. I work with kids with autism, and these kids have taught me more than I have taught them. They've taught me patience, community, how to overcome challenges, all things that I want to take to Washington. Patience for real solutions for Hoosiers, overcoming the challenges that our world and the issues that we are facing currently. We need to have solutions for the now and for the future. We absolutely have to take real solutions so that the next generation will have an economy, will have an opportunity, and I appreciate you with listening to my solutions.
Thank you, Mr. Sceniak. Finally, we'll hear from Mr. McDermott. You have 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Tom McDermott. I'm the Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate. I'm a husband to my wife, Marissa, a father of 4. I'm a veteran, served 6 years in the United States Navy, honorably discharged, served on a fast attack nuclear-powered submarine where I was an electrician. I was also the ship's diver. Unlike Senator Young, I owe no politicians in Washington, D.C. nothing. I don't take corporate PAC money. I don't take special interest money. I've been the 5-term mayor for the city of Hammond, and over the last 19 years, I brought in $1 billion in new economic development, created a nationally award-winning college scholarship program, and worked closely with my police department fighting crime in my city. I'm pro-woman, I'm pro-choice, I want to remind all the women in Indiana that Senator Young confirmed 3 of the justices to the U.S. Supreme Court that overturned Roe versus Wade, removing your civil liberties. I don't think it's right that Hoosier women are treated like second-class citizens. Senator Young told us in 2016 he was 100% against abortion with no exceptions, and he followed through by confirming 3 anti-choice U.S. Supreme Court justices. My name's Tom McDermott, gomcdermott.com. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. Now we will begin with the first question. Mr. Young, with inflation and the cost of living going up, what is your plan to help struggling Hoosiers?
Thank you. The plan is quite simple. We need to stop spending trillions of dollars we don't have on things we don't need. When the Biden-Harris administration came into office, we were poised for 5 to 6% economic growth. That's incredibly robust economic growth. And we were poised for that sort of economic growth because of the tax and regulatory policies we saw when Republicans were in control. Unfortunately, the first thing they did when they came into office is rush through a stimulus bill. This is the last thing you want to do, a stimulus bill, which led to all manner of inflation. So we need to stop spending trillions of dollars that will just exacerbate this problem. We also need to deregulate, particularly our oil and gas sector. If we can bring more of our homegrown oil and gas online, that will bring down the price of oil. When President Biden came into office, the cost per gallon was roughly $2 per gallon. It's now over $4 here in Indiana. Things need to change.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak?
Hoosiers are facing a very rough economy right now, and they're feeling it in their wallets. They're having to choose between school supplies and dinner. And like the incumbent said, spending is an issue. But unlike the incumbent, I don't just disagree with spending when it's the other side. He has spent more than Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And it's time that Hoosiers realize that we need to do better. We have to balance the budget so that we can get inflation rates down. When we don't have a balanced budget and we keep spending, the Fed will keep printing money, and that contributes to inflation. The supply chain is also an issue. We have to look at the supply chain, but there are solutions that we can look at, like repealing the Jones Act, so it's easier for Hoosiers to get supplies that they need from other areas of the country. Inflation is a real issue that requires real solutions for Hoosier homes.
Thank you. And Mr. McDermott?
Senator Young wants us to believe in Indiana that Joe Biden walked into the White House and inflation was all his fault. Senator Young's been in Washington, D.C. for 12 years and raised the nation's debt $16 trillion since he's been in office. He's the most liberal Republican I've ever met. Now he wants to blame all the world's problems, and it is a world problem. Inflation across the world is sky high right now, and he wants us to believe that Joe Biden's responsible for 100% of the nation's problems right now, and he shares no responsibility for that. Senator Young's been in office for 12 years, and he needs to take responsibility for the spending that he's created by adding to our nation's debt. Right now, like I said, since he's been in office, he's added $16 trillion to our nation's $30 trillion debt. And you know what causes inflation? Government spending. If Senator Young would have been paying more attention to that, we may not be dealing with these inflation problems as we are right now.
Senator Young, you requested a rebuttal. You have 30 seconds.
Yes, thank you. $6 trillion. $6 trillion rushed through by President Biden and Vice President Harris and the far left of the Democratic Party. Listen, even Jason Furman, a prominent Democratic economist, even Larry Summers, who has in the past advised Democratic presidents of the United States, indicated that it was unwise to pass a massive $1.8 trillion stimulus bill when President Biden came into office. I sat in the Oval Office. I told him this would catalyze inflation. It has done so.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott, you also requested a rebuttal. You have 30 seconds.
You're going to hear from Senator Young a little further on in the debate when he talks about the CHIPS Act, which is another spending bill that he works side by side with Joe Biden to help pass. It's inflationary. It adds to our nation's debt. And he's going to talk about it because when Senator Young supports spending, that's good inflation. But when Senator Young doesn't support it, that's bad inflation. The spending bill, the CHIPS Act that he voted for, is a spending bill proposed by President Biden. Todd Young stood side by side with them, took pictures with them, and helped add to our nation's inflation problem.
Thank you. The Inflation Reduction Act capped monthly insulin costs for Medicare beneficiaries. Do you support or oppose legislation to cap out-of-pocket costs for privately insured patients? Mr. Sceniak, we'll start with you.
we have to open the patent system so that medical costs can come down. These are solutions for real Hoosiers that when we look at our costs and our everyday health needs, it's hurting Hoosiers again. And we have to look at real solutions to bring down those costs. So whether it's opening the patent system or whether it's just making medicine more competitive, we absolutely can have solutions. And Hoosiers will see that when I'm in Washington, D.C.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
You know, in the Inflation Reduction Act, the part of the act that dealt with capping the cost of insulin struck home for me because I just got done on the campaign trail talking with a young lady named Madeline who's diabetic and spent $790 a month on her insulin medication. Senator Young had an opportunity to vote for capping Madeline's costs at $35 a month, which would have saved her over $9,000 a year, and he voted against it, knowing full well that the state he represents is the 6th highest state in the nation with the rate of diabetes, yet he still voted against capping the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Why? Why would he do that when he knows that he has one of the worst states in the nation with the rate of diabetes? Well, all you have to do is take a look at his campaign finance report and realize how much money he takes in from the pharmaceutical industry to do nothing to help with this nagging problem in Indiana.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
We've heard this sort of mischaracterization of the insulin provisions on the campaign trail. It's either because one of my opponents is misinformed or it's because they are intentionally distorting Hoosiers. Either way, it doesn't seem to instill trust. With respect to insulin, Republicans voted on a package. I supported a package that would have ensured we brought the uninsured along. The Democrats couldn't go for it because it didn't allow for them to have a campaign issue. But instead, Republicans want to make sure that those who didn't have insurance at all could afford their insulin. In fact, we propose giving it to Hoosiers for free. But Chuck Schumer and other Democrats oppose that proposal. So there are a lot of things that we can do to bring down healthcare costs. Perhaps we'll have an opportunity to get into more broadly the issue in a bit.
Mr. McDermott, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
You know what else the Inflation Reduction Act had that Todd Young voted against, that Senator Todd Young voted against? Prescription drug price relief for our seniors. That's also included in that bill, which allowed Medicare recipients in the federal government to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies to help lower the price of pharmaceutical drugs, which would save seniors thousands of dollars a year. And our U.S. Senator, our senior senator, voted against it. Voted against seniors, voted against capping the price of drugs, voted against lowering the cost of prescription drugs. I think that that's abysmal.
Yes.
Mr. Young, you have 30 seconds.
The Inflation Reduction Act, so-called, doubled the size of the IRS. I don't know of many of my neighbors who say, gosh, inflation's really biting me. Biden's policies are crushing me. I want them to increase the number of auditors at the IRS. How about increase taxes? It does that too, including on those who make less than $10,000 a year. Once the proud party of the working class, the National Democratic Party, supports that as well. Billions for the Green New Deal initiatives, that as well. Does nothing for inflation whatsoever. I'm glad I opposed it.
Thank you. Our next question is: Americans pay the highest prescription drug prices in the world. If elected, what, if anything, would you do about this? Mr. McDermott, you get to go first.
I won't allow myself to be corrupted by special interests when I become Indiana's next U.S. Senator. I'm going to remember who is always my bosses. My bosses are the 6.6 million Hoosiers that live in this state, and our senior senator has forgotten who his bosses are. He thinks his bosses are the ones that funds his lavish campaign account and gives him hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. He pays more attention to them than he does to us average Hoosiers. I think the Inflation Reduction Act, lowering the price of prescription drugs, capping the cost of insulin, was a great move for our state, and I would have been proud to support that. But our senior senator doesn't agree because he's beholden to the pharmaceutical industry that gives him hundreds of thousands of dollars in his lavish campaign account, which paralyzes him. He can't do good things for Hoosiers and at the same time anger the people that are funding his campaign account, so he chooses to do nothing.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
Listen, there are several things we need to do. We need to increase transparency into the system. We need more reporting about the middlemen in particular. After you research and develop a drug, you have middlemen. who take a lot of money off the top. That increases the price of drugs for so many Hoosiers. We need increased competition. It's a role for the Department of Justice to make sure that we don't have pharmaceutical companies and others gaming the system once products come off of patent. And we need to move more towards result-based medicine, meaning if we have the opportunity to actually measure whether or not a particular compound works and works effectively, we ought to base compensation on that. I've put forward some proposals to do that very thing.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak.
Hoosiers are hurting, and medical costs are absolutely hurting them. And this is an issue, a real issue that we need to look at in Washington, D.C. But we need to look at it by opening up the market, by looking at the patent system, by making medicine more competitive. Like the American dream, competition breeds a healthy ground where we can bring down cost. When we have that competition, we will have that cost naturally decreased. There's ways to do that without government interference, and we need to make sure that we prioritize decreasing prices for Hoosiers and their families.
Mr. McDermott, you requested a rebuttal. You have 30 seconds.
Senator Young talking about transparency. What a hoot. We're lucky we're here right now. I remember Senator Young speaking at a public event, and he was being filmed by one of his constituents, and he had one of his people go out there and tell him to put the camera down. Senator Young is not transparent, and we're lucky we're even here for one debate. When I challenged him for 9 debates across the state of Indiana, I think that's a reasonable expectation. We're running for the highest federal office in the state of Indiana, and we got 1 hour with Senator Young, and here we are right now, and we're lucky we got that. Transparency, give me a break.
Thank you. The U.S. has committed over $50 billion in aid to Ukraine. Should Hoosiers care about the war in Ukraine? And if so, why? And what, if anything, should the U.S. do to shape the outcome of the war? Mr. Young?
This is an essential geopolitical and national security issue, not just for the Ukrainian people, but for the entire world, especially Americans. We need to stand up for the basic principles of self-government and sovereignty. If we don't in Ukraine, then Xi Jinping, the leader of China, and the mullahs in Iran will infer weakness from our failure to assist the Ukrainians. So I stand arm in arm with the Biden administration in their effort to resource our brave Ukrainian fighters. Now, I also stand arm in arm as we press the Europeans to step up, to carry more of the load themselves so that the United States can focus our energy and our resources elsewhere post haste. But this is indeed a national security issue that could determine the future of the world. If we don't arrest them there, then you're going to see Xi Jinping move on Taiwan and perhaps some other areas that will impact our lines of trade and
Thank
other
you.
issues of consequence.
Mr.
Thank you.
Sceniak?
Ukraine and what's happening internationally is a concern to Hoosiers. It's also a concern what we do with war and what nations we look at. We have to come to the table and look at solutions with our neighbors, our community neighbors around the world to find ways to find peace in this issue. Ukraine is a tricky issue, but I've been at war. America's been at war most of my life, and I look at the soldiers and the issues that they come home with, the PTSD, the lack of true medical care. I look at the fact that they have high homeless rates and high suicide rates. The cost of war is absolutely something that Hoosiers know when they see their families come with these devastations. The incumbent encouraged through his Twitter immediate action, immediate boots on the ground. I want to look at diplomatic solutions. I want to come to our neighbors and look for diplomacy.
Thank you, Mr. Sceniak. Mr. McDermott?
Nobody has to tell Mayor McDermott that Russia is our mortal enemy, because I served 6 years in the United States Navy underwater off the coast of Russia, and Russian submarines are currently off the coast of America right now, and that's the way it's been since the 1960s. Russia wants to destroy America militarily. I know Senator Young likes to focus on China, and I think China is a threat, but it's more of a financial threat. Russia is pointing nuclear weapons at us. Russia is pointing nuclear weapons at Ukraine, and they're threatening to use those nuclear weapons. So we need to do everything we can as Americans to supply arms to Ukraine, to let them to continue the fight and regain the territory that they're gaining back, to supply NATO, and to increase our alliance with NATO. I'm super happy that Sweden and Finland joined our alliance, and I'm looking forward to the day when Ukraine settles this dispute and enjoys the NATO alliance as well.
Thank you. Mr. Young, you have 30 seconds for rebuttal.
Well, there seems to be pretty broad agreement among the candidates here that some measure of involvement by the United States is needed. I, of course, agree with that. What is not needed is this continued stubborn clinging to a Green New Deal, this anti-U.S. fossil fuel policy that the Biden administration has put in place. It's trying to bring more oil and gas online. That will allow us to send more of it to the Europeans who are dependent on the Russians right now, and to ourselves so that inflation won't be jacked up.
Thank you. Political candidates. Oh, Mr. McDermott, would you like 30 seconds?
Just a quick rebuttal. You know, I appreciate what Senator Young just said, but we also need to realize that climate change is happening. Our environment is currently being damaged, and we have to get on this worldwide problem immediately before it's irreparably harmed. The earth is irreparably harmed. I go back to places I grew up and I see rivers that are dried up and lakes that are dried up, fires that happen every season, and we need to do something about it instead of sticking our head in the sand, Senator.
I'd like to remind our candidates that while we have the opportunity for rebuttal, I have many wonderful questions that Hoosiers submitted. I know they're waiting to hear them asked and answered.
I just think it's real important on this one.
I will be asking another question on the environment very shortly, so I appreciate your patience.
Thanks so much.
The next question I have involves the 2020 election. Political candidates nationwide continue to argue that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. Who do you think won the 2020 presidential election, and why do you think that? Mr. Sceniak, we'll begin with you.
Hoosiers are frustrated with the voting process because there was a concern that their voice wasn't heard. Biden won the presidency. He is our president, but the concern is still there. Why do Hoosiers feel that their voice was not heard through the election process? We have to look at these concerns, these very real concerns, because your vote does matter. Your vote is important, and it's essential to democracy. So yes, Biden is our president. But why do we feel that our votes are not being counted correctly? We have to look at this from a federal issue standpoint, and I want to make sure that we have equality within our election system.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
The thing that's real frustrating about our senior senator is the two faces that we see of Todd Young. Todd Young comes in here and he's going to tell you that Joe Biden won the election, I imagine. But on January 6th, Todd Young stood on the steps of the U.S. Senate in his camouflage jacket, which is not normal attire for a U.S. senator to wear, especially on January 6th. And he told a group of protesters that he agreed with them, that Donald Trump won the election, but he took an oath under God, and then he walked into the U.S. Senate and voted for Joe Biden. On the steps of the Capitol, he says, I agree that President Trump won the election. It's on tape. You could look at it. Then he walks into the U.S. Capitol and displays his second face where he votes Joe Biden as the president of the United States. The fact is this, Joe Biden did win the presidency. We need to continue the democratic experiment by acknowledging when you lost. And I've lost before. And I called up the person that beat me on that night. It was the hardest phone call I made in my life. And I said, congratulations, Congressman, you won. I'm going to do anything I can help you to succeed. And I meant it. And that's what you're supposed to do when you lost. And the president of the United States didn't even have the same courage to do that. And a mayor of the city of Hammond did.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
What an unfortunate presentation that just was. I'm reminded of Abraham Lincoln's response to Stephen Douglas. Abraham Lincoln said, if I had two faces, you think I'd be wearing this one? Listen, I acknowledge the day that the election became official, that Joe Biden was president of the United States. I did indeed support someone else. So did a majority of Hoosiers on the election night. But the moment that those electoral ballots were submitted through the Electoral College as mandated just weeks after the election, I acknowledged it. So I think the record is pretty clear on that one.
Thank you. Under what circumstance, if any, should abortion be legally allowed? And should the legality of abortion be decided at the federal or the state level? Mr. McDermott, you go first.
I support Roe versus Wade. And there were limitations in Roe versus Wade. And Roe versus Wade worked for my entire life, for 5 decades. It was the precedent established by the U.S. Supreme Court that women had the right to privacy, including the right to have an abortion. And Todd Young and his radical GOP agenda voted to confirm 3 of the justices to the U.S. Supreme Court that didn't respect 50 years of precedent, and they threw America into turmoil. Right now, women in Indiana don't even know what the current status of the abortion law in our state is. It's because it's confusing. There are rights that should be set by the U.S. Supreme Court, and when they are set by the U.S. Supreme Court, they shouldn't be removed, especially after 5 decades of precedent. So I believe that rights that are granted by the U.S. Supreme Court should stay with the American people. And quite frankly, I'm ashamed that Senator Young, who is anti-abortion in all cases, including in rape, incest, and life of the mother, did exactly what he told, and he gerrymandered the Supreme Court so that Roe versus Wade was overturned.
Thank you. Mr. Young.
Thanks so much. I agree with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yes, that's right. The liberal exponent of abortion rights as a matter of policy. But as a matter of law, Ruth Bader Ginsburg said that Roe versus Wade was weak law. It did not invite a conversation with the legislature. What she meant is that we have a democratic process in this country. We have a tradition, and it's part of our fundamental law, that it is the people that weighs in on various decisions of consequence. What Roe decided was, or what the Dodd decision decided was that Roe was no longer law because it didn't invite that conversation. The people of Indiana and 49 other states are in the process, consistent with our values and ideas of trying to get this right. I don't think anyone pretends that we've gotten it right. I do accept exceptions, and I'll accept whatever the people of Indiana decide.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak.
Abortion is an issue that has divided our nation. I maintain that politicians should not act as physicians. And there's many times, especially with women, that I am not going to pretend to understand those decisions that need to be made, especially when it comes to end-of-life decisions. I believe that despite whatever law is created, either pro-life or to codify it, that we can still reduce abortions throughout America. And it's through a plan that looks through not banning abortion, but through the heart and the concerns that women have when they're making these decisions. It's looking at economic reasons and helping them thrive economically. It's making contraceptive options available over the counter. It's making sure that young men and women understand what safe sex practices are. So politicians shouldn't act as physicians. There's many medical needs that we absolutely have to protect. But at the same time, we can still have solutions that reduce abortion across America, no matter what each state decides.
Mr. McDermott, you may have 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
Senator Young made the argument that he thinks Indiana should be the one that gets to make the decision on whether or not women have the right to privacy to have this procedure done. But we didn't give that right once it was granted to the southern states after the Civil War, when we passed the Civil War amendments. If we gave states the right to whether or not to enforce the Civil War amendments, there are some states that would have chosen to discriminate against African Americans. So there's some rights that have to be established by the Supreme Court and cannot be taken away, and that includes the right to an abortion. And I'm 100% pro-choice, and I'm going to fight to codify Roe versus Wade when I become your senator.
Thank you. With the overturning of Roe versus Wade, some believe other constitutionally protected rights, such as contraception, same-sex marriage, could also be overturned. Do you support federal protections for such rights, or should these decisions be left to the states? Mr. Young, you will go first.
Thank you. This is an issue of settled law. The Obergefell decision came down several years ago, and 8 of 9 Supreme Court justices are on record indicating that this is settled law, that it is not being called into question. There are no actions at the local or state level to challenge the Obergefell decision. So what changed? Well, I'll tell you what changed. Chuck Schumer is looking for an election year issue to distract voters' attentions away from the things that are most on their mind, like inflation, like the open borders that have led to opioids coming into our neighborhoods and cause crime to increase in our cities, like the challenges overseas, including the botched exit from Afghanistan. So it has, to some measure, I have to say, distracted people. But if presented with this issue, my first thought is, why does big government regulate marriage altogether? They certainly don't regulate baptisms and other religious sacraments. But my second is, I'll listen to Hoosiers and allow them to weigh in.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Mr. Sceniak.
Look, to say that this issue is a distraction is a gross misunderstanding for Hoosier families. It's out of touch with what Hoosiers are going through. I've had many people reach out to me saying, what next? Interracial marriage, homosexual marriage, non-traditional marriage. What is next with the Supreme Court? And these are very real issues that are touching Hoosier families and American families. And we have to stand with civil liberties. Ideally, the federal government would never regulate or license marriage, but we're at a place in our society where we do. And when we do that, we have to look at it with equality. And that's equality for all families in America and all Hoosier families, no matter what that looks like.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott.
I support same-sex marriage. It's a right that was granted by the United States Supreme Court, and it should be never trampled on like Roe versus Wade was trampled on. Senator Young was asked this very question about a month ago on TV, and he answered basically the same way, saying it should be Indiana that decides whether or not same-sex marriage is allowed in its state. And I tell you what, we already know how Indiana feels on this issue because for a number of years, Indiana outlawed same-sex marriage in our state. Only until Obergefell was passed by the United States Supreme Court were same-sex couples allowed to marry. I think it's abysmal that you have a U.S. senator that can't say yes or no whether or not he supports same-sex marriages. They're incredible couples. I have a number of friends involved in same-sex marriages, and they're happy families, healthy families. Welcome to the party. I tell you what, I think it's a disgrace that we're talking about this issue. I think it's a disgrace that we're even fearing that the U.S. Supreme Court could take away another right, and I will fight to codify Obergefell while I'm fighting to codify Roe versus Wade in the U.S. Senate.
Thank you. We received a number of questions from Hoosiers regarding immigration. Are you concerned about the number of immigrants crossing the southern border? And if so, what is your proposed solution? Mr. Sceniak, we'll begin with you.
This is a very personal issue to me. I have two siblings that are immigrants. While I understand that we need to secure the borders, like a castle, we need to have a moat. We also need to have a drawbridge that's wide and welcoming for those who want to pursue the American dream, who want to work here and want to flourish in America. Immigration is something that both Republicans and Democrats have failed on. Their policies continue to fail those who want to pursue an American dream. Still vets them so that we are secure, but allows for more fluid immigrants to be able to come to America. We need workers in America. We are the melting pot. And this is something that we are founded on. Many different groups come together and live the American dream. Let's continue that and allow immigration and make sure that there is a way into America.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
This is also an important issue to me. I'm married to an immigrant. My wife, Marissa, is 100% Polish, immigrated to America, naturalized American citizen. I'm very proud of her. I support immigration. I support immigrants, and our immigration system is broken. And we gave Senator Young 12 years to fix this problem. And in 12 years, he's had two opportunities, clean opportunities where he could have made a difference and voted to fix our broken immigration system, and he chose to go with tax cuts instead. I tell you what, our immigration system is broken. I do support our Border Patrol agents. I do support enforcing our immigration laws. I do not support illegal immigration. However, I do also support DACA recipients who are in our country through no fault of their own for decades in some cases. And the former president threatened to send dreamers back to the country they came from. A lot of those dreamers live in the city of Hammond, and they've never even been in that country they, quote unquote, came from. I support dreamers. I support immigration. I do not support illegal immigration. And Todd Young's had plenty of chances to fix this, and he's failed us.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
That's just wrong. The talking points are wrong. Let me say this. I spent time on the southern border. I operated within a Marine Corps unit that flew around drones, working with the Drug Enforcement Agency, Customs and Border Patrol, and others. And my job back in the 1990s was to try and do our part to deal with the drugs and the human trafficking that we found in the Yuma sector of Arizona. That was nothing compared to the millions and millions who have crossed the southern border since President Biden came into office. He eliminated Title 42, the public health protections. He stopped funding a border wall. Yes, we do indeed need some actual fencing to help secure the border. He has not made resourcing the Customs and Border Patrol a priority. What's happened? Lots more drugs. In fact, the leading killer of 18 to 45-year-olds right now is fentanyl, most of it coming across the border, and that has fueled crime, all these drugs coming across the border. Indianapolis is now the most dangerous city behind San Francisco,
Senator.
Chicago, New York. More dangerous than
Mr.
those
Sceniak,
cities.
would you
Thank
like a rebuttal?
I would. He said our
30
talking
seconds.
points are wrong. And I agree, we do need secure borders. However, the best way to secure borders is allow for immigrations and those who do want to pursue the American dream to actually have a process in so that they don't have to cross illegally. When we have that process available, we can then make it much more easier to secure the border to those who do want to do harm, such as fentanyl and bringing that in our country. But we have to have that process first for those coming in.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott, you may also have 30 seconds for rebuttal.
Senator Young points out all the problems we have at our border. And what he doesn't point out is that he's had 12 years in Washington, D.C. to fix these problems and has been unsuccessful. You don't find me complaining too often about the city of Hammond because I did. It's my responsibility to fix those problems that we have. Senator Young has been in Washington, D.C. for 12 years. He complains about the broken immigration system, a system he's done nothing to fix since he's been our U.S. Senator. We've given him 12 years to fix it. He's done nothing so far. So why don't we give somebody else a try?
Mr. Young.
Just a point of clarification out of respect for one of my debaters. I do agree, just for clarification, that legal immigration reform is needed. I have supported it. An important and meritorious proposal came to the floor during the Trump administration, which would have given a path to legal status for DACA recipients. The Democrats opposed that because they wanted another election year issue. I guess they think this is going to distract Hoosiers from the inflation challenges they're facing.
Thank you. Do you support the decriminalizing or legalizing of marijuana at the federal level for medicinal and or recreational use? Mr. McDermott, we'll start with you.
It's funny how I got that question. Yes, I do. I support the recreational and medicinal use of marijuana. You go to any cannabis store in any of the surrounding states, 33 states have legalized it. If you go to Illinois or Michigan right now and you go into the parking lot of a dispensary, you're going to see 75% of the plates in the parking lot are Hoosier license plates. People going to buy gummy bears so they could sleep better at night. And when they buy those gummy bears and they put them in their car and they drive back to Indiana, they become criminals under our Indiana code. They could be arrested and thrown in jail, which costs more money, which gives them a criminal record, and which is just backwards, in my opinion. This is an ancient policy that we still enforce in Indiana. It's dollars and cents. You know, the state of Illinois made more money off of cannabis last year than they made off of taxing alcohol. And we don't want any of that in Indiana. We don't want the millions in jobs. We don't want the millions investment. We don't want the new economic development. We just want to keep arresting people. Yeah, I support legalization and decriminalization of cannabis.
Thank you. Mr. Young.
To put it charitably, this would not be my top priority right now, running for public office, because Hoosiers don't want this to be my top priority. This would probably be a third-tier priority. A first-tier priority would be inflation, the worst inflation in 40 years. Gasoline over $4 a gallon. It was roughly $2 a gallon when the Biden-Harris administration took office. We have national security issues. We have an open border. We have crime in our cities. So listen, I will work with state governments as they come up with their own laws. If there are federal barriers to them enacting good laws, then I certainly will consider that. One example would be safe banking legislation that would allow those states which have legalized marijuana for, say, medicinal purposes to the monies earned through those businesses could put their marijuana earned monies into local banks. We should empower that through our federally protected financial institutions. That's an example of where the federal government could get involved.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak.
It's interesting that he says a top tier priority is inflation, and yet he spends more than Bernie Sanders and contributes to the debt, which increases the spending, which increases the printing of the Federal Reserve. We could do better with inflation. But on cannabis, I do support cannabis reform. The MORE Act was something that Congress passed, and yet the Senate failed to look at it. More Americans right now in the United States can get cannabis legally than illegally. It is something we need to reform, and it's like prohibition. Similar to alcohol, prohibition never worked. Cannabis is the same thing. We do need reform. There's two ways to do it. We could pass the MORE Act, or we could just take it off the schedule. Both of those are solutions for Hoosiers so that we can actually increase our economy within that issue, like similar neighboring states such as Michigan and Illinois.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
Supporters of cannabis in Indiana have been getting what I call the Hoosier two-step. They have Governor Holcomb that says, we can't do anything in Indiana till the federal government takes it off the Schedule I list of drugs. And then you talk to Senator Young and he says, I believe in states' rights. It's up to Governor Holcomb on whether or not cannabis is going to be legalized in Indiana. That's two faces. That's the Hoosier two-step. And I tell you what, I think our U.S. senators should take the lead on this issue so that we can stop arresting Hoosiers, putting them in jail for having a plant in their pocket.
Yes, Mr. Young, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
Thank you. The issue of spending was brought up, and in the event it doesn't come up again, discretionary spending has consistently gone down. That's annual spending that Congress appropriates, gone down since I first came into public office. I'd also note that the uptick in spending that's been referred to multiple times now was a result of a global pandemic. It's the job of government to help people out during a global pandemic. What would have they cut? Household payments, paycheck protection program to ensure employers remain whole and will be there on the back end of the pandemic. Operation Warp Speed.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak, you have 30 seconds to rebut.
He claims that the spending is just with the pandemic. And he's right, there was some spending with the pandemic, yet it continues through things like the PACT Act. Absolutely ridiculous spending that he has shown bipartisanship with the Democrats to continue spending in Washington, D.C. So yes, the pandemic was part of it, but he doesn't acknowledge what he continues to do and put forth.
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to say I will defend my support of the PACT Act. It's really important that we stand up for our veterans. They earn these benefits, and I'm proud to have supported it.
And I'd like to remind all of our candidates that we have so many questions, so I'd like us to restrain our use of rebuttals for the times most necessary. But to revisit a topic that came up organically earlier, I want to ask first, Mr. Young, what is your perspective on climate change, and what would you do as a senator and have done as a senator to address this issue?
My perspective is that the climate is indeed warming based on reading a lot, visiting with a lot of people, and trying to apply logic to the world around me. It's also that humans are contributing to that, though I think sometimes the level of precision makes me skeptical. With that said, taxing our way out of this isn't going to be the best way to do it. I do think some targeted spending at the federal level for research makes a lot of sense. I've consistently supported that. And then the private sector will come in and provide the bulk of capital. This is how we can innovate our way out of a climate crisis. The likes of Bill Gates and a host of other luminaries in this field agree that this is the most realistic way to do it. The way not to do this is applying just incredible strictures on our oil and gas and transitioning in the very short term from a fossil fuel based economy into the green economy that increases the price of gas.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak?
We absolutely have to take care of our environment, but with crisis comes opportunity and opportunity for innovation. Things like what Holland did, where we can look at receding coastlines and have real solutions for these issues. But we have to protect our environment with good policy so that our future generations have an environment to be free in, to live and thrive in. If we don't have policies that protect our environment, then we are failing the next generations. So yes, we need to make sure that global warming, we have policies, but we also need to encourage innovation. And with opportunity, we as Americans will thrive through this challenge.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
I believe in experts. Like when, I believe in teachers and I leave them alone when it comes to teaching. I believe in doctors when they tell us how to deal with pandemics. And I believe scientists when they tell us that the earth is warming. And I see it anecdotally with my own eyes. I see rivers and streams that I used to go to when I was a little kid that are completely dried up. I see areas where I grew up that have constant fire season every summer when we used to never have fires. You know, climate change is a controversial issue in America and in the world, and it's hard to battle it across the world, but we can't even get on the same page in America. 50% of our population believes climate change is happening. The other 50% doesn't. And what we need our elected leaders to do is lead on this issue. Senator Young, lead and tell the people why we need to make these investments in clean energy. That's why I supported the Inflation Reduction Act. And I was so happy to see it made the biggest investment in green energy in American history. And I think that's leading. And we need to explain to the American people why we're doing what we're doing. And then we need to convince China, India, and the rest of the world to follow our example in America.
Mr. Young, you have 30 seconds.
It's hard to see how the Inflation Protection Act would make a meaningful difference. It would double the number of auditors at the IRS. It would increase taxes on people who make less than $10,000 a year. That doesn't do much to help global warming. I've supported targeted investments in green energy technologies. In fact, they're included in my CHIPS and Science Act. I would say with respect to experts, I'll trust experts, but you have to trust but verify. Fauci said, don't wear a mask. Whatever you do, don't wear a mask. A few weeks later, he says, wear masks. Jake Sullivan said, we're going to withdraw from Afghanistan in short order. No problem.
Would you support the elimination or sunsetting of Social Security and Medicare? If not, how do you propose to pay for these programs in the future, given the fact they are scheduled to run out of money very soon? Mr. Sceniak, you have the first response.
Social Security is a concern, and I hear it from Hoosiers everywhere. I have many come to me and say, I need Social Security, and others that come to me and say, we have to do better so that I can actually receive something. There is a plan out there. It's the Cato 6.2% plan, and this will make it Social Security. The 6.2% plan is exactly that. What it does is it allows for individuals like myself to be able to opt out while my employer still pays half of it, so that those who need Social Security can still have that security. However, it allows for more opportunity for those in my generation to flourish with our retirement funding. So the 6.2% plan will make it solvable, and I believe that this is what America needs.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
I plan to protect Social Security because it's a promise we made to the American people. I paid my first Social Security payment at the age of 16 when I worked at McDonald's, and I discovered over the course of my career that all this money I'm paying is eventually going to come back to me when I'm older and I need that money. It's a promise we make to the American people, and it's a promise that I intend to keep as your next U.S. Senator. You know, Senator Young, when he was running for Congress in 2010, described the Social Security system as a Ponzi scheme. Well, I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme, but I do think we need to keep our hands off of it in Washington, D.C., and we do need to do things to shore up that system. You know, and I'm super happy that a cost of living adjustment is going into effect this year to offset the high rate of inflation. I think it's totally appropriate to give our seniors and the people that depend on Social Security, the disabled, and our elderly to make sure that they get an 8% adjustment to match the inflation rate. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Young?
Listen, my mom's on Social Security. I represent countless Hoosier seniors who are on Social Security. This program is essential. We dishonor those seniors if we don't keep our promises to them about the number of benefits that they've been promised over the years. But this program must be saved. Right now, it is insolvent. Any auditor will tell you. And we need to come together in a bipartisan way, stop the demagoguing, come together and fix this, save Social Security. What I'm hearing mostly from seniors right now, though, is not about Social Security. They still have a few years before they're hearing that program won't have enough money coming in to pay out all the promised benefits. I'm hearing about inflation. It's the cruelest form of tax. It disproportionately hurts people of modest means and those on fixed incomes. It disproportionately hurts our senior citizens. Stop the inflation. This COLA adjustment is piddly compared to the consumption needs of Hoosier seniors.
Thank you. And at this point, I'll tell our candidates that we'll refrain from rebutting in order to get through questions for the next few minutes. Mr. McDermott, do you believe there's a growing white supremacist movement in this country? And if so, what can public officials do to address this?
I believe America has race problems and white supremacy issues, absolutely. I'm not sure if it's growing or not because I'm so far removed from any of that ideological thought. It's hard for me to even comprehend it. But I think it's dangerous when I see our elected officials hanging out with insurrectionists like Oath Keepers and posing with Oath Keepers and posing with military-style assault weapons with Oath Keepers. I think that's dangerous to our government. I think that's dangerous to our republic, and it's something I would never do. White supremacy is a problem. Racial issues in America are definitely a problem. I'm not sure if it's growing or not, but it's definitely a problem. And, you know, when President Obama was elected president of the United States in 2008, I was so hopeful that America was turning the corner on our ugly past with racial politics. And unfortunately, we've all discovered that it's only gotten worse since 2008. It's something that we're going to have to keep working on. So anyway, thank you very much for the question.
Thank you. Mr. Young.
I think the DOJ has some compelling reports on this, and I agree with Mr. McDermott. I'm concerned about this as well. In the end, I believe we all need to engage in individual responsibility, and those who don't, those who are violent, those who engage in race-based violence in particular, need to be held to account by our local prosecutors and entire criminal justice system. Mention as some radical hate groups who have been involved in violence here in this city of Indianapolis in recent years. So it needs to stop coming from all corners.
Thank you. Mr. Sceniak.
For far too long, we've allowed petty differences from allowing us to see our neighbors.
Can you hear me?
And any concern of growing hate is a concern. I come from a very diverse family. I have Black siblings. I have Hispanic nephews that I helped raise. And we absolutely have to look at taking care of everybody. The concern of hate groups, we have to have good policy that creates a system where we have a balance and checks and balances of fairness so that those who are minority communities can feel the freedoms from the oppression. If our neighbors are feeling this concern, we have to take a real look at it, because I'm not one that can make that claim, but they are. So if they feel that concern, let's investigate it.
Thank you. Now, I do want to offer one rebuttal to this question, given the time that we have, and I appreciate the candidate's collegiality in allowing me to temporarily restrain our rebuttal. I offer 30 seconds to any candidate who would like to take it, and you don't have to take it.
Is that a rebuttal
To any
pertaining
of these,
to the last
yes.
question?
Yes. Would you like that, Senator Young?
No, thank you. I just wanted to clarify.
No,
Understood.
thank you. I don't want to
Anyone else?
talk.
Okay. So at this point, we are coming close to our end of our debate, and I would like to address our final question. So now it is time for the final question this evening. For this question, each candidate has 1 minute to respond. And the question is this:
Can you hear me?
what specific accomplishments can we expect from you in the next 6 years if you are elected? Mr. Sceniak, you get to go first.
I believe in bringing back public service to Washington, D.C. I believe that as a senator, it's not what I am going to get out of being a senator, but what I can do for you. I want to take care of our veterans through my vet care policies. I want to take
am
care of Hoosiers
unmuted.
and their wallets through good
It's not
economic
muted.
policy.
I don't know if you can hear
And
me.
I want to
though.
ensure civil liberties are in place so that we can pass those freedoms
Yeah.
on to the next generation. As a senator, these are my top 3 priorities that I will fight for in Washington, D.C. I want Hoosiers to live the best lives now, but also with sound policy that will ensure that same civil liberties and freedoms for the next generation and the generation after that. We have to be not so narrow-minded with our spending, but we have to look for economic stability. And I appreciate tonight's civil discussions.
Thank you. You can hear me.
Thank you. To remind the candidates of the question, Mr. McDermott, what specific accomplishments can we expect from you in the next 6 years if elected?
And this
You
is the
called.
last
I
question,
missed
right?
It is.
I'm gonna. Hoosier women, trust me. I'm on an all-woman ticket right now. And November 8th, 2022 is about Hoosier women who've lost their reproductive rights. And even though I'm a man, Hoosier women trust me to do the right thing when I win on November 8th. And I know why I'm going to win on November 8th is because Hoosier women voted in record numbers to elect me as their next U.S. Senator. And I promise Hoosier women, when I go to Washington, D.C., I'm going to know why I got there.
Yay,
I got
you
there
heard
because
me.
you voted for me. You trusted me. And when I go to Washington, D.C., I will not rest until Roe versus Wade is codified and Hoosier women have the protections that they had a couple months ago. And Senator Young doesn't deserve another 6 years in Washington, D.C. because he turned his back on women when he appointed 3 people to the U.S. Supreme Court. He turned his back on veterans when he voted 2 times against the PACT Act, and he voted against seniors when he voted against lowering prescription drug costs. We can't afford another 6 years of Todd Young in the United States Senate. Vote for Tom McDermott. Go McDermott.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDermott. And Mr. Young, I'll remind you, the final question this evening is what specific accomplishments
we
can
go.
we expect from you in the next 6 years if you are reelected?
Well, thank you. I again want to thank my fellow debaters
Donors.
this evening for this opportunity. Hoosiers want a fighter during this time. Hoosiers are hurting because of the out-of-control spending from the Biden-Harris administration, which has catalyzed inflation. They want a fighter who has the courage to stand up against these profligate spending patterns. I will do
Like
that
you.
in the future if Hoosiers give me their trust and support the next 6 years. But I won't miss an opportunity to partner with folks on the other side of the aisle when they have good ideas in the best interest of Hoosiers. I'll do that with respect to national security issues. I'll do that with respect to innovation issues. I'll do that with respect to bringing high-tech jobs here in Indiana. In fact, I did all of those things
Cannabis?
when I worked together with some prominent
Won't go with
Democrats to
cannabis.
pass the CHIPS and Science Act. They can expect more of that good government, which is infused with a whole lot of loyal opposition when necessary. If they give me another 6 years, I hope to earn their trust and support. Thank you.
No, I'll pass.
Thank you. And now I'd like to thank each of our candidates here today, this evening. The first candidate, incumbent Republican Senator Todd Young, our second, Libertarian James Sceniak, and our third candidate, Democrat Tom McDermott. Thank you for participating in this evening's debate. Candidates, on behalf of the Indiana Debate Commission, thank you again for participating this evening. The commission is a nonprofit organization that depends on many affiliates to make events like these possible. We want to thank all of them for their participation. Finally, thank you to all of you in our audience of voters. Thank you for submitting questions. Thank you for watching or listening. Now it is your turn to make your voice heard and cast your vote in the
Cast
voting
your
booth.
boots.
For the Indiana Debate Commission, I'm Dr. Laura Merrifield Wilson. Thank you again for tuning in, and good night.
Cast your boots for Senator. Oh, are they going to shake? Are they going to shake? Oh, we done? Are you good? Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Lucas one. Okay, we're just going to turn that off. Yay, it worked. I don't like this thing, though. So maybe we could unplug it. Yeah, I don't. My boots cast long ago. Yeah, I cast my boots far long ago. That was the funniest part. What up, Barry? So, no, it's just a debate. The election is November 8th. So that was just a debate to vote. And then whoever wins the vote doesn't come in till January anyway. So it's not like a fist them up and whoever wins, wins. I wish. God, that'd be cool if politics was that way. Like a boxing match. Whoever wins, last man standing gets to run. That's pretty cool, Lucas one. Awesome. And we got headphones at the end. We're all hooked up. And now I'm on StreamYard. Great job. Thank you, Russo. Barry, I'm glad you're doing good. Okay, except for I'm not going to do the live thing with just me because this is... I don't want to see my face. And nope, that does nothing. Nothing. We're going to have to do this. Okay. Thank you guys all so much for watching with me. I hope you guys understand that Hot Toddy's gosh, I can't believe he's been there for 12 years. Social Security is not running out of money. Todd Young wants to make it so that you have to requalify for Social Security every 3 years, which is a joke. Let me see. What I don't like is I can't. Oh, there I am. How cool. And it may 8 people. You guys are awesome. 13 thumbs up. Thank you so much. All right. Well, that's all I have. I hope he wins. Toddy has to go. Hot Toddy sucks booty. And maybe we can call both their offices tomorrow, Russo, in the morning, if you want to drop your link to your chat. Or I can. But yeah, this is how they do it. Oh, there's me. Oh, yeah. Thumbs up, Barry. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off here because I don't smoke in my house. And I don't know how to. I don't know. Can I do this? How do you copy the link? Is it just copy? Anybody want to come up? And then I see Mattman do this all the time, like nothing. Oh, but this is the debate. So we can take a synchronized talk. How do I copy the link to my phone? Anybody know how to do it? Mattman likes it looks so easy. Copy. I'm not with Biden. Can I text myself? See if I can text myself. Nope. Send this text for what? No, I don't know how to do it, guys. So I'll just go outside and he just copies it. Put it in. Oh, maybe that's how he does it. If we put it in here. What? No, I figured it. We'll go outside and take a toke. I'll turn this off. But then how do I? Maybe. Appreciate it. I did it. And you guys don't have to stay. But we'll talk about it. I'll go. You guys make this technology stuff look so easy. Ralph, give her answers. I don't know. I don't know either. Nope. And if anybody wants to come up, I put the link in there. I think. You can do it. Okay. Sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Sorry. Mute. Okay. See if this is how we do it. So for these headphones on here. Okay, right? Help me out, guys.
I'm trying to fix the. I can't really keep trying to.
Oh, look, people want to come up on my panel. Oh my God.
Did you try these?
Yeah.
What up, Barry?
So much.
This gives me a bit of time.
Hi, Dawn.
Bluetooth connect these
Okay.
there.
When I get done with this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're
No,
looking
that's
for.
Can you hear me?
I can. I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, Barry. Barry, meet
One.
Ralph. You guys both live in Maine.
Yeah. Both of us? Wow.
You and Ralph both live in Maine.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hi, puppy.
Heck yeah.
Come on.
Hey, you did a good job.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Come on, babies.
You just got to remember if you want to talk like that, like now you know how to do it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, Uncle Dude's gonna try to fix the audio headphones so I can do it and not get the echoes.
Yeah.
I know I've got echo in here. Oh God, sorry. Fix the audio headphones so I can. Shh. Shh. Oh, go outside. We're everywhere.
Yeah, they can hear you.
And see, then I can't see chat on my phone. I don't know how Matman does this. Barry. No.
Oh, wow, that chat is
That
that
goes on
YouTube
here.
is way behind.
Hi, Raven.
Hey, you did a good job.
Here we go.
Hey, Dawn, you got another one in the back. Want to come up?
I don't.
Yeah.
I only have one open. Oh shit, Leslie's in the back, and I can't do it on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you do that. I would think you have to go to I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can go to StreamYard, just log in on this page or not. I'm not sure.
Well,
I never way done it to that way. I always done it through my laptop.
yeah, well, I'm outside and I'm on my laptop. Somebody's echoing, and maybe it's me. Maybe oh, I can't. Hold on, baby. Let me get Leslie in here. Hold on.
Because you got to turn Dawn. You got to turn the audio off on YouTube.
Oh, I'm in.
I don't have any other streams open but StreamYard on my phone. YouTube's not open. What up, Leslie? You are tiny on my
Hello.
phone. Oh my god. Hey, girl.
Who's all here?
Hello.
Say Ralph's here, right?
Ralph's here. My friend Barry up
Dawn.
in Maine. And me on my laptop.
How many can you have?
I have no idea. I've never done it, and I'm just doing the trial thing. I think 6.
Yeah, the 6.
Doing the free version.
Yeah.
But this is my peppers.
So where's everybody at? I know where Dawn is and Ralph.
I'm from Maine.
Yeah, I know you're in Maine.
Okay,
What
okay.
a beautiful state.
Yeah.
It's comparable to Michigan, though.
Yeah.
Heather, lady. Oh,
Heather?
Heather, Lady Spellbreaker. Hey, sweetheart. She's from Illinois. Yay. Hi.
Oh, Illinois.
Oh, wow.
She's next door to me, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh,
well, so am I. Kind of.
No. Everybody's kind of close. And Lucas one's from Sweden.
Sweden.
Hey, Dawn.
Yes.
Tell folks that if they're in YouTube, if they turn your audio off on YouTube and only run StreamYard audio.
Yeah, I don't hear the echo anymore.
I don't
Right.
either.
Right.
I just
No. Now it's all clear.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay, we did it. Yep. Yes, Heather, you should come over to come across the state. You guys should, I would love to meet you guys on here.
Yeah.
But no, I've tried to do StreamYard and things, and it's real. Everybody makes it look so damn easy.
Yeah.
So easy to do that stuff. And
Well,
I'm
you're
like,
brave. I've never done a live stream before. Just gone on panels.
Yeah.
I've been on panels. I've tried to do live streams from my forest, and it's a joke. And I tried to do a live stream at a cannabis thing, and the Wi-Fi was really bad, so it didn't even work at all.
Yeah. Wow.
So I appreciate no, honestly, I called Ralph earlier and said, I don't know how to do this. And we figured it
He's the guy.
We figured it out. And now we're going to take a hit, because that was nervous as hell. But no, the guy McDermott that's running for Senate I'm not with his office, but I'm for him because he wants people to be able to smoke cannabis. Sorry, it doesn't take much. That's
just one issue.
I have back surgery November 3rd, and my back surgeon said, wow, you're not on pain meds? Pain doctor says, wow, you're not on pain meds? Nope. Don't want them either.
What are they going to do to your back?
I'm having a laminectomy, discectomy, and fusion on my lower back.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Because I know a guy that used to be living. He had his back fused, and he said that it was worse than before.
Yep.
So,
Oh, wow.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a friend who had his back operated on, and he said his is worse too.
yeah.
Isn't that great?
I would go with a natural, like something. Healing.
This was from 12 years ago.
Oh, you already had it done.
No, I got hurt 12 years ago. It's gotten so bad now that I can't not have surgery or I'll be paralyzed. The nerve is getting cut off so bad with the disease in the back that my left leg will give out if I don't have surgery. And if we wait till I'm paralyzed and they do surgery, it won't help. So they want to do it before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll be good.
You're going to be on pain meds the rest of your life.
Oh, no, I'm not. I got off of them before. I'll get off of them again. What up, Trace? Thank you so much for coming in here. Oh, you guys are awesome.
Well, I hope the best.
Yep. It's cool. Yeah.
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 Maybe you'll be the one that lucks out and it will work. I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know. We'll see. I can't not do it because and I've been in and out of a wheelchair before and worked and walked and rehabbed and PT, OTs, and we'll make it. We'll get there.
Yeah.
You have to do physical therapy probably too.
Yeah, we find out more this week. I go and do pre-surgery appointment and get fitted for a back brace and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe the people that had a hard time afterwards and more pain didn't do everything that they're supposed to do. I don't know if that's the case.
And I'm younger and I'm not on pain meds going into it, so hopefully they'll help me more once I get it. I have no idea. I'm trying to be very optimistic about it.
Yeah.
It's just a little scary, you know, they're going to be in your backbone. Oh,
yeah.
Your nerves.
Yeah.
No, it's. I'm going to be doing lots of live streaming, and that's why I'm like, I need to do this now
So I'm used to it by the time
Yeah.
I'm not able to come out to the garage. So
Yeah.
Oh, you're in your garage?
yeah, this is my garage. I smoke in my garage. It's my plants, my greenhouses. I know it's a little picture, but I've got green peppers.
Oh, cool. In your garage? That's funny.
Green peppers in this one too. See if we can survive the winter. So yeah, because it gets way too cold here, and I love to grow. And it's just easier that way for me. And then we have
well,
this
if
side of
we
the
don't
garage.
get blown up by those crazies in the house.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is just my little mini room. And I normally it's our mini room, or it's our mini house. Yeah. Well, it's a nice little garage. But I don't smoke in the house, but that may change too. I don't know. We'll see. Dawn, yeah. Dawn, you're doing it pretty good, no joke. For your first panel, I can say it's nothing we noticed. Oh, yeah, thank you so much.
You did a perfect job.
Whoa. Very
Thanks
stressful.
to Ralph, hey? Ralph helped.
Appreciate you guys. It's nice when people are like, do this button, click this button, mute this part, get a headphone.
I just know a little bit from being around live.
Yeah. I see how people do it, but then I don't see what buttons they push.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that echo or reverb. A lot of people have problems with that until they know.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't hear it if I don't know.
Yeah. But on the other hand, you look at the bright side. You're doing a pretty good job. Since it's your first
My first panel,
live
got
call, actually. Yeah.
Excellent.
Two of me. And Barry and Ralph. Awesome.
Wish I had some smoke. I ran out. Although I got.
You can go buy some at the dispensary.
Yeah. I ran out of money, dear. Social Security, retirement.
I get to.
You know, they cut my SSI, which you're probably going to be on if you're not already.
I've been on disability for 12 years. SSD.
Wow. Well, I hit 62 this last July, and they made me file for retirement. And one of my ex-husbands, I was married over 10 years to him. And she said, well, you can collect. You'll probably be getting like $30 more or something. But they cut my Social Security down a couple hundred and just added less than a couple hundred to it. So it's about the same, a little less than what I normally would get. So that sucks.
Wow. See, and I've never dealt with that part of like having to switch things around. But it's a crazy.
Have you been married before? 10 years, or are you married?
Married and divorced twice.
If he didn't, let's see, if you didn't remarry after him, at least, well, I don't know about your state, but in my state, you get part of your over 10-year marriage.
I can't make it more than like 3 years of
somebody.
marriage.
They'll give you. You have to file for it though when you hit 62. They make you.
Yeah, I've got a minute on that, unfortunately.
Cheers.
Fortunately.
Happy 420.
420, cheers.
420 somewhere.
Is it Lucas one's 420?
Puff, puff,
Must be.
pass.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh, thank you.
You should grow your
I'm
own.
rolling my
right?
cigarettes. Huh?
Do you grow your own?
Oh no. I live in an apartment building. I can't grow my own. I'd have to give my seeds to somebody who has land. I don't have any land.
Gotcha. We need to figure out a way for people to grow for each other. Like if it was legal here, I would love to grow stuff for people. That would be so neat. But yeah, but I'm curious to see if Ralph is willing to call Senator Todd Young for us on Monday to see if he's changed his mind about cannabis, because Ralph has called his office before, and I think it's hilarious that he lied on his debate, saying that he's not against it, and it's just so funny how politicians are.
Yeah, Linux One said his 420 is in 2 hours.
Oh,
I'm
so
not
he's
sure
not-
you can see that, Dawn.
No, not walking.
Okay.
Guys, gotta click back. Oh, it's 221 there. Gotcha.
It's 8:21 here.
821.
I got 820. Well, 822 now.
Yep. East Coast.
Yep.
Yay.
It's weird though when you said it's like another country. Every state is like another country.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. Like there's rules in Maine that I couldn't fathom. Like not having plastic bags, like having to register your pets every year. We don't do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have weird rules there.
Ralph, you have a dog, don't you?
I think he dropped out.
I
Or
do.
You have a dog
Oh.
too?
Oh, yeah, I do. And you do have to register them every year. Got to have the shots when they need them.
Trippy. Trippy.
Does
You don't
Deaf Bread
have to.
still come over to your stream?
To mine? Some
I saw him at Ralph's before.
Deaf Breed. I've seen him. Sorry.
Deaf Bread.
Deaf Breed. Sorry, this isn't an exciting view.
Hey.
Jared Stone says I'm gonna miss my ladies. We got very close this summer. Yeah.
Ow.
I can say here in the future it's pretty dark. Oh, in the future. 4 hours. Cheers, Barry. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, Lucas one.
Yeah.
So is that all you're growing in there?
Yeah. Everything's pretty much done because we're getting our first frost. And that's just what I'm going to overwinter. For my peppers and then little peppers in there. Oh. But I've still got little baby peppers.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they keep coming. And I've got flowers. I don't know if they'll pollinate or not. but we'll see. Can't hurt.
Yeah.
I get the ball. And just sit out here and chill with the babies. It's little Shadow.
Is he a Labrador? Or is he...
Yeah. And a big old lab. For sure.
He likes what he's eating.
It's his ball. It's the ball.
Big ferocious.
It's the best ball in the world. We got Gov looking over things. Hi, pretty boy.
Oh, I thought that one was a cat for...
No, that's my little dog.
I didn't have my glasses on.
That's Shadow.
What's up, dude?
He's old.
Oh,
He's my
cute
old boy.
face.
He's my old boy. And this is the baby.
The big one's the
130
baby.
pounds. 130 pound giant baby.
My baby.
Yeah. With some vicious teeth, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my big one barks. You hear it down the road.
Must be some good shit. Well, I got some in this bowl.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just shake. Shaky shake.
Always just clean out your bowl and make a bowl from your stuff.
I do that too. When this is done, then I'll clean it out. But see, this thing comes out. This is like a silicone pipe.
You want to know how you can get it out of the silicone part of it? Put it in the freezer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you just pop it back in there.
That's like what mine I have. Yeah, you scrape that out with a little tool.
And
then you
there's
make
a little tool place to put the tool in there. But I put that up so that I wouldn't lose it.
Yeah.
As it falls out of this thing, the stem part. So.
Dearest Dawn says she's going to end up with over 5 pounds. Oh, I'm so happy for her. Yay. Wow. Dang.
You may like it. Phone calls.
Yeah, Ralph's awesome about making phone calls. He'll call anybody.
You know, there's the White House email thing. They never answer anything. Of course, I was hesitant since the new establishment because I don't want to have a target on my head.
Yeah. Good practice, though. Yeah. Yeah. It's like tonight doing the debate. They're like, "Oh, well, are you Republican or Democrat?" I'm like, I'm selfish. I'm for the party of me. It's not I'm gonna vote for whatever party I'm told to. It's I want to whoever works best for me. If you've been there 12 years and I see nothing but pain in the butt that I've dealt with for 12 years, yeah, I'm gonna vote for somebody else. Sorry. If you're a boss at a company and you get it wrong for 12 years, I'm not going to give you 6 more years.
Yep, whoever is the best fit.
Mm-hmm. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Uncle Dude. But no, I've talked to McDermott about the issue of people with PTSD not being able to get medical cannabis in Indiana. And he thinks that people should be able to have that option. And Senator Todd Young does not think it's
I'm still moving.
He said that with the at the debate tonight, that it's not a cannabis is not a priority to him. So he was honest about that. At least he told them Hoosiers and deflects it into China. Sorry, but right now cannabis is more important than China to me. Just saying. But whatever. I get you. Don says, I don't think I'll ever vote again unless it's on recreational use of mushrooms. And that's a very good thing to, yeah. Well, in Indiana, you cannot vote on your own policies. We've made it so that the actual citizens cannot vote on individual referendums. So it's never going to be on the ballot here. That's why we don't have it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the whole thing where Todd Young or McDermott was saying about Todd Young, he accepts PAC money from like American Cross, Blue Shield, United Healthcare, American, 3 or 4 different insurance companies. And that's why he does not see it as a priority, because he's fed millions from Big Pharma. So I get it, you know?
Yeah.
Honey, you're in my way. Get back. Get back. See, we have a little bed for the little boy. It's not that cold out here, honey. Just throw the ball.
He's like, play with me.
Just play.
Play with me, little dog.
Ready? Move your head. You're going to need it. Move your head, honey. Honey, you're going to smack
What's he staring at?
The ball.
Wow. Get the ball. Get the ball.
He's vicious. Like he doesn't he was raised by a Chihuahua. He was raised by the vicious 8-pound Chihuahua. So he doesn't get it. He thinks he's this little tiny dog, and he's just not. Honey, you got to move your head. You hit your head on the bar. Oh, yeah.
How's that, Ralph?
Ralph says, that's a threat to your democracy. Yeah, China is a threat to my democracy. Todd, yeah. I will be calm. That's a motivation, though, to get up in the morning and be on. What time do you go live in the mornings, Ralph? Is it 9? I may have to try to get up by 9 if that's the case. I can do 9 maybe. Oh, great.
Yeah, I can never tell when I wake up. Depends on how well I sleep.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is I'm staying up late and not going to bed till crazy early.
Early a.m.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'd just stay up the rest of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody else asked me that. Like, when's that on the ballot? It doesn't sound like Russia that you guys can't vote on your own stuff. Well, yeah, kind of. Kind of, maybe just a little bit. Stop. It's okay. All right. Cheers, Barry.
Yeah.
9. So Ralph goes live at 9. Okay.
Yeah, 9. They get up early in Maine. I'm in a sleepy town north of Detroit, like over 50 miles north of the border of Detroit.
Yeah.
No, I'm in central Indy, closer to Illinois than Michigan by far.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm west of Indianapolis. I'm not close to Michigan. Michigan's probably 4 hours away.
Oh.
By Michigan, maybe? I don't know. 3.
One of those. It's around there. Depends on traffic, I suppose.
Yeah, that depends on what part of. If you go up by Chicago, that's awful. I used to live south of Detroit, Deerstone says. And right next to it. There you go.
Oh, that's where I was born, south of Detroit. Wyandotte. Yeah. Flat Rock, Wyandotte. Is that where or lower in the state?
I have friends in Wawa, Michigan. Is that where they said? I don't remember.
Wawa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a
geez.
place? Is that a place? Is that right?
Is that a place?
Is that what they said? I was.
I don't remember what they said, but yes, I'm pretty sure.
It was a really weird name, and I was like, "Well, what?" She's like, "No, Wawa."
Wawa. Wawa.
What? I live in Wawa.
I live in Wawa.
Brighton, and Westland, and West Branch.
Brighton. Yeah. That's not south of
I'm gonna have to go in.
the D, but it's about a couple hours away from me, probably. Like, hard to get to because the roads east and west and north and south don't hit it. You have to take like an expressway and then go south. 75, I believe. 75 goes down all the way past Kentucky through
We have 65.
Ohio. Ohio. The Ohioans.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Wow. Did you swirl on that one? Like you know, like
dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk away. Ooh, yeah. See, this is what I use. It's a Pepsi bottle or whatever, but it's it's called Top Puff.
Oh. I know somebody who made mason jars pipes.
See, I had to be very careful with glass and things, but I can do plastic.
Yeah.
The only glass piece is the stem and the stem piece in there.
Oh.
And I can just throw this away in a couple days or rinse it out or dump it out, and then I don't have to clean it. I just throw it away.
Yeah.
And we all have extra plastic bottles that we can use. Reuse.
Yeah.
I just
We
say
have
reuse.
recycling here. 10
We
cents
don't.
for.
We don't care about recycling, environment, nothing like that here. It's so funny.
We are out in the country.
I mean, the whole state. Like, I went to Georgia and the place is like voluntarily recycled. I'm like, what? You're recycling? Save the earth. What kind of place is this? We don't do that there. We are like the most lenient state, like 51st out of 50 in the way we run our political campaign laws are like 51st out of 50 states because they include Washington, D.C. in the study. So we're even worse than Washington, D.C.
Oh.
That's pretty bad.
Makes me want to run for politics really bad, though.
Well,
Yeah,
when we buy drinks, except water, they tack on 10 cents. So then you take all your bottles and you cash them in and you get the money back.
Yeah, we used to do that. I don't care anymore. Amazon, dearest Dawn. We're $12.99 or $11.99. Okay. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette.
Works for the 20-ounce bottle or 2 liter.
It works in Kimba's mini bottle too. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. Go on the porch. Okay. Before my phone dies. Here,
Yeah.
get the ball. Because being on StreamYard sucks the juice. Get the ball.
So, Ralph, how is it in your state? I heard it's blue, like Michigan.
What out, buddy? Come on.
Hey, is your state blue or red?
Like politically?
Mine is.
Yeah. What? Yours is?
Yeah.
Which?
Recreation and mine is recreation and medical.
You have a lot of Democrats, don't you, Barry? Blue state mostly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Indiana's red. Red. So corrupt it's purple.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my...
Red is corrupt? I don't know.
They're both corrupt. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
But here's the carport.
Because it's a big government. That's why we just become numbers. That's all.
Yeah, I'm really libertarian, but they don't have enough votes to win. So I have to vote smart also.
Well, that's what they always do. It's either left or right, you know? Which is weird. I mean,
they have more control that way. We are one of the few countries that do not have a third party system.
Actually, man, what happened to the Green Party and there's all these different parties, you know, libertarians and independents
like
and
yeah, they all picked sides. Because they followed the money.
well, they stopped including them in for decades now. That was back in the day.
Yep. They do it on purpose. Like, we had a referendum to allow the Libertarian Party to do different things, and they denied it because they didn't want to have more competition.
Yeah.
The worst thing for politicians is competition. So, whatever. Yeah, this is outside.
Well, if we could fire this president, I'm sure the majority would fire him.
Yeah.
The whole system All the old people that have been doing this for 30, 50 years need to go and leave it
Right.
to the new people.
Yeah.
That's my thought. There's
Second
nobody
it.
that's young enough that wants to talk about it that isn't scared of getting butt hurt. And it blows my mind that, like, I don't see any young people even, and I'm sorry, YouTube, I'm sure there are. Don't let me butt hurt you. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
But
well, this is a very touchy subject to have a live
Mhm.
stream. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I know.
ridiculous that we have to censor ourselves. That's
Even-
crazy.
yeah, but I get it. I get it. It's I don't have money, therefore I don't deserve power. It's just the way this beautiful country's been set up, and got to
Yeah.
play their rules. Now, in my
Yeah.
state, if I would have a super PAC, someone could donate me money, and I only have to use 10% of that money towards my campaign. The other 90%, I could buy a car with. That's my campaign rules in my state.
Well, that's why they go into politics, so that they can get a
Right.
special interest group or tech
Right.
company or
Right.
Hollywood even, and
Right.
Yeah.
that's who they represent, and we were never told.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go to ballotpedia.com and you can look up who gives your senators finance money and super PAC money. And you'll find out, like, the same super PAC will be funding both sides. Now that I know how to ReStream, I can show you guys the stuff that I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen it. They the guys that fund Todd Young also fund a bunch of Democrats like Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. Also fund Todd Young. It's insane.
Yeah.
And they're Democrats. And he's so hateful of Democrats, but he's funded by the same party, so it doesn't really make sense.
Well, actually, it's illegal for them to do that. It goes against the Constitution.
Oh, well.
They don't believe in the Constitution or freedom or...
They believe in their freedom.
Yeah, just for them.
Yeah,
They're not
well,
worried about nothing because it doesn't affect them.
No. Nope. Okay, we gotta go in.
It's all a money laundering scam.
Pretty much. You fleece it through both sides, and then your whatever you want, it's gonna get brought up or not brought up because you're funding both sides. There we are.
Of course, life was better under the last administration, but they all corrupt anyway.
Come out of here.
It's either continue the narrative or go radical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you still
Radical
hear me?
Ralph
Yeah.
Russo.
Because I have headphones and these aren't my headphones. And I was asking
we
Uncle
lost
Jude during the thing. Yeah, I got off my
She'll
phone.
she's coming back. There.
I had to change this. But no, I don't know how to do these. And there's other headphones. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's so weird. You're in my head, Barry.
Heck yeah.
God. Sorry. I'm new to this technology thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were able to talk without your headphones.
I can, but he plugged it in because of the reverb on the other stream. So I don't.
Oh, that's only when you're playing the thing.
But yeah, I'm learning how to do this. Oh, I've not been like not letting vote on laws. I figured out how to do this. And then you can start.
Are those those are plug-in?
Yeah,
phones?
it's a cord.
Okay.
It's a cord.
Better for a brain.
I'm not into the Bluetooth stuff. Where'd I get Amazon? Amazon Top Puff. There's knockoffs, but I got the real one. Yay, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming up here. I was like, okay, what am I going to do after the thing? Okay, I just go
Yeah.
So what does starring this do? Go back later? Private chat. Okay.
Somebody's coming up.
No, I'm just.
Oh.
It's you can star a comment and I guess look at it later, but I don't do that. Then you can change the pictures. Nope.
Yeah, you can switch things around.
Yeah.
That one. Where's the names?
Well, this is a good test.
I appreciate it. Where's people? Oh, what did that do? Oh, I gotcha. We can make that big. Wow, I can actually kind of see that. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Show display names. Why aren't your names up there?
You got remove the you got unhighlight the comment. What the chat wrote, you got highlighted. You got
remove that and see if the names come up.
You got basically click on that same one you just did, the last one.
Not that one.
What, you just tap on it again?
That one.
Not that one.
Brand. Show display names. Display names are always hidden when showing a comment and banner. Oh,
there you go.
We're learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you take the?
You have to basically re-click on that same one you got highlighted. There you go.
Oh,
there.
Whoa. I'm telling you, this is about as
You'd be a
techie.
pro.
Now you're practically an expert now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so then when you click on it, it takes that away.
Yeah.
And do that, and it comes back. Okay, and then you can make your names different like that.
Main act buds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Act.
That one's easiest to see. That one. Okay. Okay. I'm not doing this other. Oh, and you can add music too.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's
copyrighted by YouTube
it's
though?
Yeah, it's YouTube stuff to provide you for us. If you would do a live that you can play, you won't get in trouble with that.
Is that through StreamYard?
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Feeding the Ducks.
It's all this stuff is instrument and no singing.
Right.
This is not what I feel like feeding the ducks.
Boop, 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 boop.
Let's see if I get copyrighted on this. Lofi, Lofi.
We entered a different world.
Night driving.
Well, that's appropriate, but we're not driving. Nighttime.
Acoustic Sensomatic. Okay. Dance, pop.
No moon tonight yet.
No, I noticed that.
Maybe too many clouds. Boy, it's getting cold around here.
Yeah.
Like 50 every day.
Yeah.
We go to 28 degrees Monday night. We're going to hard freeze.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I don't know what the night is. It's colder than 50, that's for sure.
Currently, we're at 51. Freeze warning. Sucks. Sucks.
Poor little animals outside.
Yeah.
I feed the squirrels. And
Yeah.
then I had this undercover watching me, and I was like, what's going on? Because I was walking by, coming back, and somebody was looking at me, and they were writing stuff down, and I was like, what is going on? The next evening, I was out there, and I just threw some nuts to the squirrels.
Yeah.
And it was the sheriff. He came up and he says, I'm going to ask you not to feed the squirrels. And I was like, oh, why? And he said, well, because they get too friendly and they'll come up to children. I was like, what?
Do squirrels eat the children?
We're kind of small for that.
Are the squirrels gonna give them a virus? Do they not have their masks on?
Yeah, the squirrels don't wear their mask. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Crazy. See, except for now, I'm not reading chat. Go back to chat. I don't think anybody's.
And then he said, well, then they're a pest and they're running in the streets, and it's better if you just let them do their natural thing. I said, well, you can ask me. Yeah, but it's not against the law.
Did you tell him to do something more important, like fighting crime, instead of being a squirrel?
No, because I'm not going to get arrested for something.
Just saying. Really? Is this the most important thing as Squirrel Patrol?
I know. Squirrel Patrol in Michigan. Yay. Well, see, there's one city downstate where they have an ordinance. If you have bird feeders, the squirrels and the birds like knock the seeds down, and then the deer come, and that's when it's a felony in that little city downstate. But that's not all of Michigan.
Wow.
Because they don't want the deer to be in the cities.
Yeah.
Well, then you should look at my illegal felony video I did of deer at my bird feeder.
What?
Yeah, I guess I committed a felony feeding my deer at my bird feeders unauthorized. I'm so sorry.
I got a video on my phone at my neighbor bird feeder. There was two turkeys eating out of it.
You better check your laws, Barry. I don't know if that's allowed in Michigan. Okay, that's. I'm gonna turn that light off and see if that light is not gonna make me a glow bug. Oh, so much better. Ooh, so far you can't hear.
Well, that seems very calming not to have lights blasting.
Oh, I'm not a light person. And then I have this where I can turn this down too. Ooh, dang. Gets really
Oh, shadow people. Look, there's one behind you. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy crap. That tells you how bright my laptop can get.
Wow. Oh, and they probably have different backgrounds too that you can put.
Yes, and I think I can do a green screens and things. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Picture. See, no, we don't want that. Okay, so that one doesn't matter. That's the same as this one.
And you can make intros and outro, exit, outro. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, and this is the free one. Oh, so that you can do a countdown. Background.
Yeah.
Can do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't know. And that's the thing is I'm having back surgery, so I'm gonna have to learn how to sit here and sit. I'm not one to sit. I need to go and do and be up and like, yeah, I don't.
Well, that's kind of a mismatch for live streams, but yeah.
Well, that's why if I sit in my garage and smoke, I'm fine, but I don't smoke in the house.
Yeah.
I have a package of gummies.
There you go.
Are cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying them and I don't like the taste as well. I'll tell you right now.
Well, those gummies don't taste good, but they kick your butt.
These just don't taste good.
Really? Wow. I bought
Urban
some here in
Days.
Maine, was pretty good.
They don't. Ew.
Then I had bought other ones. It was gross tasting.
I'm telling you, dude, these are pretty gross.
Yeah.
Here. Yay. Would you like a gummy? I'll put it in your mouth.
Better take two.
No. How's it taste?
Odd.
Odd.
Like a soft Jello shot.
Like a soft Jello shot. It doesn't taste good, does it? It tastes pretty nasty.
Is that his first gummy?
Yeah, of that. Ew. Yeah.
Now you need a drink.
Yeah, this is tea. He just filled it up. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. No, I went to the Indiana Cannabis Awards and they gave out a bunch of stuff. And these don't taste good.
Your volume went way down.
My volume went down?
Did you touch something?
No.
Is it me?
I don't. Barry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I hear
it's
Barry.
okay.
This is like the best I've ever heard you, Barry.
Oh,
it's
wow.
trippy. It's like I've never really heard you before. That's why I don't want to unplug it because I can hear Barry. It tastes awful. Do you want another one?
Now it's coming back up.
Yes, the audio out of those
These are really cool.
those earphones, the headphones, sorry, are good.
These just
And that little 3.5 millimeter little Zolman jack, just clip on any. Yeah, it's a good setup. I like that.
Thank you.
Efficient and sounds good out and in.
They can hear me.
Yeah.
And I can hear Barry like I've never heard him before. That's why I don't want to unplug it because I can hear Barry. Like he sounds like he's right here. It's really weird.
Barry, you're the star of the show. I've been calling you Ralph.
Those are very good. Yeah.
Do you want any more?
No.
They're not tasty. Something. However these are made are not tasty. But these are indie. These are all like local Indiana places, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
I'll do a review.
That would be a great job, man. Get
Let's go
paid
find
to
an-
do reviews.
I seriously, I have a whole bunch. I'll go get another thing because those are just nasty. Hold on. Yeah.
She's gonna end up taking one too many.
See her flying on the screen.
Yeah.
So you're Barry, not Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I guess if you have wireless headphones, then you don't have to take them off your head. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
like these are gummy nerds.
Oh, those might taste better. 100
I know.
milligrams. Wow.
Wow.
No, my friend had 1,000 milligram cookie.
Oh, 100's not pure THC.
No, and this is Delta 8, so this is totally legal. You can scan the QR code.
Oh.
But the milligrams is like the potency.
Yeah.
And like these gummies are normally like 25 milligrams if you have one gummy. So it's not like you take a whole package.
Yeah.
You don't. It's like a vitamin gummy. You don't eat the whole box of vitamin gummies. You just take one. This is 100 milligrams in 2 gummies.
Oh. Pop them.
And then I guess they're just covered in nerds. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
So each one of these would be 150 milligrams. See, I don't really like sweets. Oh well.
But you like those.
Be easy.
It tastes better than these.
Be easy. When they hit you, they hit you. Oh yeah, they both the CBD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
I'm going
if
to
you
take
get-
these during the debate too. There were 5 of
Yeah.
these. So that would be 100. I've had a couple of these. They aren't. I'm not a sweetsies person.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. It's a gummy covered in nerds.
Yeah.
Sugar helps repair muscles and stuff.
Oh.
I mean, not like crazy amounts, but
Yeah.
when you lack in all sugars, then the system gets unbalanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just drink some lemon water once in a while.
Yeah.
It balances your alkaline and acid system.
I have water in all my lemons. I have lemon
It
in all
only-
of my waters.
It only takes 2 drops of real lemon in a gallon to alkaline balance your system. So
Yeah.
Dodie.
It's cute packaging how they got the little
Yeah.
can of flour on there. And these are 100% legal. So what you do, there, wherever the barcode is, you scan, like, if I would get pulled over with this in my car, they can't do crap because of this barcode on this package goes with the candy in the package. And it shows that it's been tested, authorized through the state of Indiana to be 0.3% or less THC. All of these products have the QR code to guarantee their legality. But these are disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will mark on these that these were pretty good. When did I eat it? 10/16. Because I'll forget.
Gotta write it down.
I write
10/16.
everything. 10/16.
It's only 9/10.
So
No,
20.
the date. Today's the 16th of the 10th month.
Oh, not the time.
I'm
Okay.
like, no, the date. If I do a review, I'll be like, yeah, that night I don't remember, but they tasted okay. Sorry. God, Barry, you're so loud in my ear.
I know. I should
Yeah.
I should whisper.
I don't know.
Oh.
Barcode. Yeah. Well, no, it's a QR code. You can scan it. It's not the barcode.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Who is
Wow.
that? Oh.
Oops.
We lost
What?
one.
Yeah. Must have been her Bluetooth disconnected for some reason.
The link is in there if you want to come up. I'm going to eat in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But Barry, you're saving my ass. Thank you so much. I was just like, I'll just throw the link down for me and go do that. And she's trying to come back. And I didn't even think that anybody would want to come on panel. So you guys are so awesome to do this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's okay.
No problems.
It's really, it takes a lot to let people in.
Yeah.
I'm not up. Thank you guys for coming up here. Thank you, my lurkers. Good. So good in bad barcodes. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta know the legalities. Because these are all legal from the 2018 Farm Bill. And if Todd Young really cared about cannabis as a priority issue, he could have legalized it 12 years ago if he wanted to. Could have legalized it when I worked with him in 2018. He could have worked with me in the past year and a half, and he's not. So I am helping the person that wants to do that.
Yeah.
Not my problem. I don't care what color they claim to be. It's about my priorities. He's saying that disenfranchised Hoosiers care about chips made in Japan. No, I don't. I care about food, to pay food and pay my bills the month. And 8% raise was a total joke. Total joke for disability people. And he's very good at cutting funding for things like Medicaid and Social Security. So the fact that somebody wants to go after him, I'm like, dude, I got dirt. What do you want to know? I'm good. Not a lot of, it takes a lot to, but Ralph calls him. Ralph's called Hot Toddy's office. And now Ralph has seen who he has spoken to, who says, well, you're not a Hoosier. I can't help you, sir. Have a good day. And Ralph's like, you're a U.S. Senator on the Social Security Administration Board, and you can't help me? No, sir. Well, I can only reach out to my Hoosier constituents. Ralph's like, what the hell's a Hoosier? Hoosiers are Indiana folk.
Oh.
Kentuckians that lost their way to Michigan?
What?
Hoosier. Uncle Dude says Hoosiers are Kentuckians who got lost on their way to Michigan. Well, whatever. I wish I could go get lost in Michigan. Give me like a day and a half in Michigan. I'll be so happy.
Yeah, well, you have a Michigan accent anyway.
No, I am Hoosier born and bred. He's a fighting man. Ralph, did you notice that Todd Young said that? He's a fighting man. His Todd Young's on Twitter, his following is called Todd's Troops. Todd's Troops. And Todd's Troops were there on January 6th. He had a tour group on January 6th called Todd's Troops. And they're still on Twitter.
Yeah.
But you see all this stuff on DC News. Todd Young is never brought up. This whole committee thing, it's never brought up. Because he's Pence's puppet. So, shh. Dang, I just probably got this stream totally black flagged. Yeah, he's a fighting man. Love you, Ralph. Yeah. He has a tiff with China for sure. He was all for Huawei though, the bad internet company. He invested millions in it and lost his ass in Huawei. So it was kind of funny. Oops. So now he's like, oh, we need the chips now for something else because my Huawei deal fell through. Oh well.
Yeah.
I do like that it tells me how many people are on here. 5 viewers, but it doesn't tell me who. That sucks.
Well, there's us 2 and there's 3 more in chat, probably.
That means
doesn't include you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what that button does.
Yeah.
What does this button do?
Well, it says, okay, remove from stream. I get what that means. Solo layout, mute, edit mic settings. But I didn't know what solo edit. Cancellation, adjust mic volume. Oh, so if you're quiet, I can make you louder or quieter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You be turning up more or less like when you adjust that, you be adjusting.
Do you got a button for that?
Okay. That was beautiful. That was perfect timing.
So you can
hormones.
Shut me up.
Remove from.
Oops.
She cut herself out. Kid.
Oops. Okay, I know what that one means.
Well, that was the wrong button.
Sorry. Okay. But I guess I can't. Oh, I can mute myself or solo myself out. Okay, no. I don't like that either. Exit solo. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. And then I can add do a present, a camera file, slides, another screen. This is pretty cool. And then if you pay for it, you can get backgrounds and get rid of the duck in the corner and other shit too.
Yeah. Then you could have up to 10 people.
So all you can do is the music and switch things around.
Yeah.
The extras are...
Yeah, you got to pay for the frilly stuff.
Oh.
And I could do 2 cameras, but I could do 2 cameras if I do it on my phone without having to pay. So I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, it works. And you only get 10 hours a month or something. So I've used 2.5 hours for the month. So that's why. That's what you pay for. You pay for your time. Oh, you don't see that screen though. It says 2 hours, 33 minutes. Gotcha. Okay. Well, since I'm on a time limit for now, I'm going to get off here. Save my time.
Yeah.
Barry, go live. Leslie, go live. Eat some dinner. See, we all need to do StreamYard accounts. And if we get 10 hours a month, then it's okay. For free.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or 20 hours. I don't know. Oh, see, there we go. I learned how to do it. I don't know. I didn't really look at it on how many you get or how much it is or something. Ralph just kind of helped me get it to do it right. We're learning.
I think he's right. I think it is.
Is it 20?
hours. I believe it is because that's what I got
Oh,
for free.
okay. Okay, so that would work.
Yeah.
But yeah, after my surgery, I can't, like, moving like this. I can't.
Yeah.
I'll be streaming. We'll figure out
Yeah.
something. Okay. Well, I'm
Okay.
going to get off of here. Thank
Okay.
you, Leslie. Thank you,
You're
Barry,
welcome.
so much,
Yeah.
guys.
Pleasure.
Looking at the wrong camera. Thank you, Ralph, Dawn, dearest Dawn,
Let
Lucas
everybody in
Flynn,
chat.
Trace, Uncle Dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's in his
Later, Uncle
office. His
Dude.
office is, that's
See you
the wall of his
later,
office.
everybody.
I
Yeah.
will see you guys later. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right,
Much
guys.
love.
Much
Yeah.
love, everybody.
Yeah,
Good
peace.
night.
Bye. Good
Peace.
night.
Maybe.